Today is May 5th, and the gypsy moth caterpillars are already out, about to destroy trees for another year. Here are some small gypsy moth caterpillars. They just hatched from their eggs this morning. I've been checking them every day for I could see the exact day that they emerged. And after a few hours, they are starting to wander. There's a small one way up here that can be spotted. My camera is having trouble focusing on the small creature. That is just one of the places. Here is another nest and a nest above it. This one I tore open. That's a little bit late, that one. It must be because the previous 3 days were 90, 93, and 85. Those warm days must have got them going. Usually they don't hatch until June. In the month of June, they're the biggest problem because they can eat lots of leaves each a day. These small ones will only eat about 1 leaf for every 10. When they are huge, they could eat 50 leaves in a day. Look how small they are. Here's ones from last year. There's some dead ones and this is a crabapple tree. This tree, they completely defoliated last year. Last year it did not have any crabapples. It's flowering now. Later on in the year it has crabapples towards the fall. Last year it barely had any. Usually they're everywhere on the ground. There wasn't any this previous year because of the defoliation. The tree put all its energy into making new leaves. Now this year it may not happen like that again. This is also from a storm last year, so it's been through a lot, this one tree. I had to paint that because that big tree over there fell, the stump you're seeing. It knocked half of this tree off. But these small caterpillars aren't enough to cause a problem yet. If we get a lot of rainstorms in the month of May and the early June, most of these will die off. For the past 2 years, it's been kind of dry, so they've been surviving and hurting trees. Their favorites are maple and oak and crabapple, but when they run out, they'll even eat pine needles, defoliate in all the pine trees. They'll eat grass, they'll eat anything if they run out of the trees they like. They'll even eat pond scum off the edges. Can I see? There's another nest. There's a lot of them all over this crabapple tree. I haven't actually looked to see if they're hatching anywhere else other than that tree. Here's ones on the actual barn. They haven't hatched yet. Maybe it has something to do with them being in full sun. Maybe the full sun heated them up and that's why they hatched. I'm gonna find a group of them on a different tree. Okay, these haven't hatched either, probably because they're in a shady place in the yard. Okay, this side of the barn is in full sun, and yes, there's baby ones all over it. These ones aren't as dark, these are almost like a gray caterpillar, so it does have to do with if they're in the sun or not. These are almost full sun, and you can see there are thousands of them, these little nest clusters, thousands. And unless it rains sometime soon, they will cause issues. But the crabapple tree, they're not going to defoliate this year. This year, we're going to buy chemicals to kill them off. This tree's not that tall. They sell something called 7 that can be put on a hose and sprayed up in there. It applies to the leaves on a dry day, and when it hardens, it's waterproof for 30 days. And by the end of the 30 days, the caterpillar cycle would have been over. They would already be in their cocoons and or moths, so they would not cause a problem anymore. The moths do not eat trees. It's just the caterpillars themselves. So it's called 7. It comes in a spray can for small plants, or you can buy it in a attachment. It's in a concentrated form that you put on the hose. It mixes it as water passes through it. You can spray that into trees. That's what we're doing this year. For that, the tree won't be defoliated again by the caterpillars. But hopefully it rains, because that will kill them off. Actually, it's still the beginning of May. Never know. It would actually be beneficial to get one more deep freeze, since the trees still don't have large leaves. It may not hurt much if it got to around 30 one more time. That would kill some of the caterpillars off. Thanks for watching.